doing? How is life? Hope you're good. Hope you're fine. You're welcome to Lawyers Info Hub. It's always a pleasure to have you here. So today we are looking at a very good and sensitive topic. Yes, under our Tech Law series. Technology is one thing that has come to stay in our century, in our time. So as a lawyer, you must equip yourself with you know, technology, knowledge, yes, so that you can be able to serve your clients better. So we are looking at how to draft an end user like a mobile application. I'm building this, I'm building that, I want to have this, but I need an end user licensing agreement. You see, the social media apps we have today all have an end user agreement form. When you're signing up for a program, you see that there are some, you know, clicks you need to do. You can click the terms and conditions, you click privacy policy, you click privacy statement, you click end user agreement, you click terms and conditions, you click. So all these are legal documents which protects the uh, the software developer, protects the end user. So today we're going to look at one of those very key documents you can prepare as a lawyer for someone who, uh, you know, wants to do a programming work or has an app or just anything tech. So it's important that we look at it holistically because when you have such a brief, or as a student, someone you have been invited to speak about it, or someone is saying something, or a friend is saying, I want to do this, my business, I want to move it, you ask these questions. How are you going to protect your interest so that all end users will not come to you to claim damages for every problem they encounter on your key. So I just hope you're going to learn something today and also share with others. So the question now is, what is an end user licensing agreement? Short form EULA. Some people call it EULA. Some other people just call it EULA. Some other people just call it end user license agreement. It's a software licensing agreement between a software developer and the end user. Someone has built an app. For example, we have the different mobile apps, social media apps we use these days. These are tech products. Now, how do the owners of those software program, you know, you know, have an agreement with their end users on certain issues? It's through this end user licensing agreement. They all have it. While you're signing up, these are things you click to say, do you accept? You click. Many people don't even know what they click. They just want to sign in into TikTok. They want to just sign into Facebook. They want to sign into Instagram. They just want to sign into Twitter and all of that. But they don't know that they have all signed up to agree to all these terms. Whether many people don't read. In this part of the world, it's difficult for people to read, especially when what they are reading is kind of lengthy. They just keep it and just say, I accept. So an end user licensing agreement is a software licensing agreement between a software owner or publisher and a user. It specifies information about that software, that app, the rights of the company, the rights of the user. Yes, and so this end user licensing agreement can come in different form. It has different names, so that when you see them, you still know that what it's all about. What it's all about. You can call it the copyright license agreement. Some people call it copyright license agreement. Some people call it know-how license agreement. Some people call it licensing agreement. Some people call it intellectual property licensing agreement. Whatever name it is called, in whatever nature it comes, you should be able to know, okay, this is what what it is, and what I'm expecting to see here. Some other times, so a client can come to you to say, okay, um, I'm partnering with a particular person. We are doing this programming work and all of that. Okay, can you help us review document? And you see one of these names I've mentioned here, I look at it, you're like, I don't know what it is. So this particular agreement can come in different names. So when you see such, you already understand that this is an agreement between a software owner and an end user. So you're going to look at the things that we are going to mention today, whether it's there in that agreement you're reviewing. So just like I let you, it's also is a software licensing agreement. It's used by the licensor, the software producer, you know, to put up agreement between him or it, depending on the company. Now, it is very important that that license agreement contains information about the product, information about what the app is going to do, the way a user is supposed to use it, and any other disclaimers that are very disclaimer. Sometimes you're using in an app is not malfunctioning, or there's a network downtime. Many people don't know that there have been agreements they signed up while signing in. They say, see, when there's a malfunctioning of this system, we can't be held liable. So you want to sue them for the fact that when you were having a meeting online, their app malfunctioned. Did you read the licensing agreement before you signed? Many people don't know about this. I know over time, these licensing agreements are updated as the world is transforming, new things are coming up, new features. Even the phones we have, they have, updated versions. So they keep updating this agreement. They keep updating it to be in tune with the what is on board or what is on ground, the way the world is moving. The way the world is moving. Sorry about that. Now, another name many people call this agreement is software license agreement. You can also call it trademark license agreement. Some people call it trade secret license agreement. Some other people call it trademark and service mark agreement. It comes in different form, but it has one aim it's going to achieve. Now, when do you need a licensing agreement? When do you need a licensing agreement? A licensing agreement is needed if you have a patent, copyright, or trademark and want to make money off that item while you're protecting your proprietary right. Somebody have an invention, someone has developed something. I want the world to be using that, want it to go global. And knowing that, see, I want to make money from this thing. I want to make money from this my product. How am I going to make that money? Why I say protect my property rights. This is when you need end user licensing agreement. Now, when you want to provide usage rights to your intellectual property, you have a product, you have something you have innovated or you have created or you have made, and you want to provide usage rights to other people to use it. Just like we have Facebook. Facebook is an app by Mark Zuckerberg. And now a lot of people have billions of people, using that app. This is just an example. Now, you need your licensing agreement when you want to provide usage rights to your intellectual property to another person or an entity. You see, companies are on Facebook, individuals are on Facebook. So the Facebook, now Meta as a company, has given usage rights to people to subscribe, to sign up to Facebook for social networking. Now, when you want to create exclusive or non-exclusive agreement for the use of your property, your brand, your idea, you need an end user licensing agreement. When you want to provide usage right for a specific geographic location, maybe you want your product to be used only in African region, you want your product to be used only in North America region, wherever region you want your product to be used, you want to provide usage right for that specific geographical location, you need the licensing agreement. When you want to set up a royalty agreement for the use of your property, okay, this what your intellectual property, is yielding royalty, and you want to set up a royalty agreement, you need an end user licensing agreement. You want to specify who owns the intellectual property. Sometimes three people can come together to do something, and it is their work. Now the end user agreement also specify who owns the intellectual property, who can use it, how much the license costs, how long the licensee can use it. Sometimes someone can have the product and give it out for someone else to use, but has rights to the royalties coming in. You still need an end user licensing agreement. Now, let's look at some scenarios where an advertiser wanting to use a popular trademark slogan in a campaign. Now, somebody is already known to have or to be the originator of a slogan. Now, that person has trademarked that slogan. And now you want to use that slogan in a campaign. You need a licensing agreement for that. You need a licensing agreement for that. You see, sometimes you go to a hotel, you see people in hotels using pictures of different people. You need a licensing agreement for that. Maybe you want particularly have used pictures of maybe a very historic place and all of that. You don't just go get pictures in same climes and jurisdictions in well developed countries. You need a licensing agreement to use all that. Someone's pictures of a historic place and all of that. Now, for example, a tech company will want to post a blogger's content on their website site as a testimonial. Need a licensing agreement. You see, the intellectual property, circle and the tech, circle is deep. So there's some things you don't just do because it is infringing on somebody else's right, and you need an agreement, you need approval, you need consent. So the end user licensing agreement, is used in many, 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 many ways. In many, many ways. And it's very important as a lawyer, as a law student, to have this knowledge. Now we're going to look at um, how this licensing agreement can come. Many people can call it types of licensing agreement, or type of licensing. In this licensing agreement, you're giving license to your end user to use it. So what are the type of licenses you can give? You have what you call the exclusive license. The exclusive license, where the licensee give him exclusive right to the use of the intellectual property. Not even the licensor is permitted to use the intellectual property. Someone makes a product, someone is has copyrighted or patented his idea or something, and you're giving the license to another person to use. This one is exclusive license. Even you, who is the originator, the licensor, is not permitted to use the intellectual property. Once you have given an exclusive license, no other one, no other license can still be given on that particular intellectual property. Now we have the non-exclusive license. The non-exclusive license, this one, the licensee has the license to use the IP, but the licensor, the originator, or the owner of the intellectual property is free to use the intellectual property or grant licenses to other parties. You see many times, you see many people holding non-exclusive license to the same intellectual property at the same time. So you know that at that instant they have non-exclusive license. So they don't have sole license. A sole license grants the licensee an exclusive license, but allows the licensor to also use the intellectual property. The difference between sole license and exclusive license is that under exclusive, even the licensor cannot use the IP. But under sole license, while you give the license to a licensee, the licensor can still use the IP, but no other license will be granted. So that's the similarity between sole license and that of the exclusive license. So we have the co-exclusive license. A license may also specify that the license will only be given to a limited group of other licensees, who, with a description of the specifying their name as description number, you know. So this form of license is called co-exclusive license. Co-exclusive license. This type of license that I earlier stated, a license is given to a limited, a specific enclosed number group of people who use the same license. So it's a co-exclusive license. So when you, as a lawyer, you're making discussions with a client or you're writing a legal opinion, These are things you need to let the person know the type of licenses we have and their sole purpose. Now let's look at how do you now draft end user license agreement. What should it contain? There should be the name of the license on the licensee. What is the duration of the contract and the termination terms? Exclusivity. Are you granting the exclusive license, non-exclusive, sole, co-license? As I earlier explained, you need to specify the license terms. If the licensee is allowed is allowed to use that license for a particular purpose or is a multi-purpose license, you know, can the licensee grant a sub license to another person? So this is now where you're now putting the license terms of what it's going to contain. Now, geographical restriction is the licensee expected to use this particular license within a specific, or restricted geographical location, to prevent competition. Especially this happens when you have the franchise license agreement. Look at issue of royalty payment. Is that who takes the lump sum and all of that. This is issue of percentage in net sales. Also, you can put what you call the performance agreement that specify, that the licensee must achieve a certain level of performance, or be in danger of losing their rights. This is very key, especially even in the entertainment industry. This is used, the performance agreement. You can put it in there. Then the property modifications. You have to state in the agreement whether the licensee has a right to improve or modify your intellectual property. Is it restricted to you, the right to modify? Is it only restricted to the licensor, or the licensee has the right to modify, change, or modify to the way it suits them? And you can also state what type of changes can be allowed and to what extent. You have to put the clause of dispute resolution. It's very, very key. This is resolution to know, okay, this is how, when there is a dispute, how do we resolve it? You have to put the warranties, what you guarantee to deliver, and that to provide, it is a good condition, your intellectual property is a good condition. You have to also put in the confidentiality agreement and the non-disclosures, very, very important. Then the issue of transferability is also very, very key. So these are the headings I've given you. You now expound on it in your agreement. It's very, very key. So this knowledge is very key. That you must have a knowledge of technology, law. The tech law has gone beyond even what we, know. So you must know what to do at all points. When these briefs come to you, so that you will not make mistake and you're giving the right advice to the client. It's very also, this non end user licensing agreement is a broad area because it's like a big tree that has different branches. You have to look at whether it's a binding, it's a enforceable agreement. There are a lot of issues that come up under the end user licensing agreement. But I've just given you an intro into it because a lot of people get this brief, but they don't know how to go about it because the world is going global. People are building lots of things. Businesses are going global. How do you have global reach? Is when you have trade on the because of the way the technology is fashioned, a lot of people don't know how to navigate protecting their rights and at the end of the day providing those services they claim to have or their proper intellectual property can provide to the end users. So it's very key for this knowledge is very key. And I just pray that hope that you read more, expand your knowledge on these areas because these are in the near future, very not even the near future, very soon. These are the kind of briefs we will be taking, not it will no longer be the traditional things we know. Yeah, so I just hope you learned something. If you have a question on the end user licensing agreement, just drop it on the comment section. I want you to click on the like button, give a thumbs up to the video, so that other people can see it. Share to your friends. And if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button, share this video and like it. Thank you very much. I'm really grateful for my returning subscribers. You have been what? Amazing. I'm really, 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 really very grateful. Thank you, friends, and I do hope that you're staying well and you're staying safe. Take care of yourself and be the best you can ever be. Thanks.